This is Hadrian's Wall 180, a brand new world-first scenery add-on for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, brought to you by Time Machine Designs in partnership with boomsatsuma Education Limited. Hadrian's Wall is one of the best-known monuments to the Roman conquest of Britain. Snaking for 80 Roman miles across the north of England, it stands as an unmistakable expression of Roman ambition, might, and logistical control. The wall takes us on a journey from the mouth of the River Tyne in modern-day Newcastle upon Tyne, across the scenic landscape of Northumbria into Carlisle before reaching its final destination at the village of Bowness on Solway.
The wall began its construction in 122 CE during the time of the Emperor Hadrian and would continue to undergo changes throughout its use for the next 300 years. Thanks to the power of Microsoft Flight Simulator as well as extensive research, we've been able to accurately plot the wall along its path and model it to conform to the landscape. Hadrian's Wall was much more than a wall. It was a complete system that included 78 mile castles, 158 turrets, 18 legionary forts and 4 bridges. To bring it to the flight simulator, the world has undergone 5,000 terrain modifications, material improvements, building and vegetation removal and more. The intended purposes of the wall have been debated for many years. It seems reasonable that, like any border marker, it was intended to perform a number of functions. First and foremost, it marked the Roman Empire's northern frontier. To the south lay civilization, to the north the barbarian wilderness. Being able to see the wall now in its entirety is hard to overstate the psychological impact it must have had. Of course, it was also designed to be defensible, and as such contained a layered set of military installations from turrets through mile castles to forts, supported by earthworks and obstacles. The mile castles in particular also provided the means to control movement and trade through 80 north-south access points. And finally, the wall supported a network of villages outside of each of the forts, with ports at South Shields, Wallsend and Newcastle in the east, and Bowness on Solway and Carlisle in the west.
At 80 Roman miles long, the wall's mile castles and turrets provided the forward defensive line. A mile castle was a small fort placed each Roman mile, hence the name, which included barrack blocks and a guard tower on the north side. Each mile castle is believed to have held anywhere between 8 to 30 men who served along the wall at their designated mile castle and nearby turrets. As for the turrets, they were placed every third of a Roman mile between 2 mile castles as additional watchtowers and fortifications. In academic literature, there are 3 generally accepted designs which we have handcrafted and allocated to the 3 known legions who are believed to have built the wall. Using the turret designs as a guide, you can see which legion may have built each section of the wall over which you are currently flying. Firstly, we have the open top roof design which we have allocated to the 2nd Legion Augusta. Next we have the 6th Legion Victrix whom we have allocated the pitched roof design, and finally we have the pyramid design allocated to the 20th Legion Valeria Victrix, so keep a keen eye out for these as you take your flight along the wall.
The Hadrian's Wall system consisted of 18 legionary forts spaced along the length of the wall. Although legionary forts were built to a standardised plan in a playing card shape, each one has subtle differences from size and purpose to the number of buildings and design details. Stanwix, for example, is the largest fort you'll find along the wall, with over 25 barrack blocks. It housed approximately 1,500 men and may have been the headquarters for the entire wall garrison. The smallest is Newcastle with only 3 barracks. In the forts you'll also find a set of different buildings. At the centre of each fort is the garrison headquarters, and next to it the fort commander's house, built in the style of a Roman villa. Arranged around them are barrack blocks, granaries and workshops. Like the turrets, we've designated each fort to one of 3 legions. Those with the blue stripe on their walls belong to the 20th Legion Valeria Victrix, those with red the 6th Legion Victrix, and those without any markings at all the 2nd Legion Augusta. Whilst on your travels along Hadrian's Wall, you will also notice that not every fort is directly on the wall. A number lie to the south, particularly in the central section. Perhaps most famous is Vindolanda, over a mile from the wall. Given that it was overlooked by 2 signal towers, one possibility is that it housed rapid reaction force able to respond to threats along the central section. Forts were also accompanied by a vicus, a village outside the fort walls. Within the vicus you'll find houses, shops, barns and more. For this initial release of Hadrian's Wall 180, we built the Viki for Vindolanda and Housesteads. The Viki for other forts are on the way in a future release, so stay tuned to our forum thread for updates.
Hadrian's Wall crossed 3 rivers along its journey across Britain, creating the need for bridges to be built. As skilled field engineers, the 3 legions completed this task as well. The bridges can be found at Chester's Fort, Willowford to the east of Birdoswald, and 2 bridges to the west of Stanwix. Unfortunately, very little remains of these bridges, and the rivers themselves have changed their course over the years since the wall system was active. So using all of the research and resources available to us, the team has recreated reconstruction drawings so that we can accurately model each bridge. We believe that these may have been the first technical drawings to be created in 2,000 years. The whole of the Hadrian's Wall 180 process has certainly had its challenges, from the lack of technical drawings of buildings to uncertainty on positions for mile castles and turrets, particularly on the western section of the wall. Whilst we haven't gone into too much detail on that today, we are planning a live stream for the new year where we will be giving you more insight into the research and design processes for the project, so do keep an eye out on the dev blog for more details going forward.
Hadrian's Wall 180 is the result of a unique partnership between Time Machine Designs and boomsatsuma Education. Our partnership is designed to bring accurate reconstructions of the past to Microsoft Flight Simulator, whilst also creating early career freelance opportunities for digital technology students and recent graduates. Students and graduates from boomsatsuma have worked with Time Machine Designs to develop Hadrian's Wall 180 and to resolve the many technical challenges presented by the project. The core team includes 2 recent graduates in the roles of production and technology manager, 2 3D modelers who graduated during the life of the project, and 4 undergraduates. Our shared objective is to bring many more historic sites to Microsoft Flight Simulator as they appeared in their heyday, whilst giving the next generation of game artists, designers and producers the opportunity to build their skills and experience. And by using the digital twin technology that powers Microsoft Flight Simulator, we believe that Hadrian's Wall 180 represents the future of the past.
Speaking of the future, Hadrian's Wall extends beyond what you've seen here today. On the north side lay a defensive ditch, on the south the vallum, a huge layered ditch system with crossings at each mile castle to allow for more access across the system. You'll see these things come to life in a future release of Hadrian's Wall 180 alongside plenty more in the pipeline. We are really excited for you to finally get your hands on this world's first full reconstruction of the wall, and we hope you enjoy flying it as much as we have enjoyed building it.